Dr. Sarah Chun rubbed her tired eyes and looked at the computer screen again. The numbers still did not make sense. She had been working at the Arecibo Observatory for 10 years, listening to space for any signs of alien life. Most days brought nothing but cosmic noise. Today was different. The signal had started 3 hours ago. It was weak and broken, like someone trying to talk through a bad phone connection. But there was something in it that made Sarah's heart race. This was not just random noise from space. This was a message, and whoever sent it was terrified. "Mike, come look at this," Sarah called to her partner. Mike Williams had been working with radio signals longer than anyone at the observatory. If anyone could make sense of this mess, it would be him. Mike walked over and put on his headphones. His face changed as he listened. "This is impossible," he said. "The frequency is all wrong. No advanced civilization has used this band for thousands of years. It is like someone is using a Stone Age radio to call for help in space." Sarah played the cleaned-up version of the message. A voice spoke in a language neither of them recognized, but the computer had been working on translation. Slowly, words began to appear on the screen. "Help us. Something is wrong. The ship is changing. The walls are growing. My friend Tom is not Tom anymore. We cannot stop it. Please, someone help us. This is the colony ship Wanderer's Hope. We are lost. We are dying. Please, help." The message repeated, getting weaker each time. Then it stopped. Mike stared at the screen. "Sarah, we need to check if anyone else heard this." They spent the next 2 hours calling observatories around the world. Most had not picked up the signal at all. Those that did hear something had dismissed it as a fake or a joke. The signal was too primitive, they said. Too simple. If there really was a crisis in space, surely someone with better technology would handle it. Sarah felt sick. She ran the numbers again. The signal had traveled a long way through space. It had started as a powerful transmission, but was now barely detectable. The colony ship was far from any major space route. If something terrible was happening to those people, they were completely alone. "We have to do something," Sarah said. Mike shook his head. "What can we do? We barely have rockets that can reach our own moon. This signal came from outside our solar system. Even if we could build a ship that fast, it would take years to reach them." But Sarah was already calling the Space Command Center. She knew Commander Janet Torres from college. Janet had always said that space exploration was about helping people, not just collecting data. "Janet, I need you to listen to something," Sarah said when the call connected. She played the message. The line was quiet for a long time. Then Janet spoke, her voice tight. "Send me everything. Right now." Within 6 hours, the message was playing in government buildings around the world. Scientists argued about whether it was real. Military officials questioned if it was worth the risk. Politicians worried about the cost, but Captain Maria Santos, who had been chosen to lead Earth's first deep space mission, made the decision simple. She stood in front of the United Nations Space Committee and said, "These are people asking for help. That is all I need to know." The plan came together faster than anyone thought possible. Every space agency on Earth contributed. The Europeans offered their newest engines. The Americans provided their navigation systems. The Chinese shared their life support technology. The Russians gave their best pilots. But Maria had other ideas about who should join the mission. She had spent years studying how different species on Earth worked together. Humans were good at building tools and solving problems, but they were not the only intelligent life on their planet. "I want dolphins on this mission," Maria announced at the planning meeting. The room went quiet. "Dolphins?" asked Dr. Robert Kim, the mission scientist. "Maria, they cannot even breathe in space." "They can with the right equipment," Maria replied. Their sonar is better than any sensor we have built. They can detect things in space that our machines miss. If there is something dangerous waiting for us, we need every advantage we can get. The team worked day and night to design special suits that would let dolphins work in spaceships. They also brought other Earth life forms that had shown unusual abilities. Fungi that could grow networks for communication. Cephalopods that were incredibly smart at solving puzzles. Even tiny animals called tardigrades that could survive anything space could throw at them. People around the world watched the news in amazement. Earth was building a rescue fleet unlike anything anyone had imagined. 5 ships total. Each one designed to work with Earth's natural partnerships instead of fighting against them. The rest of the galaxy was watching too, though most humans did not know it yet. Advanced alien civilizations had equipment that could detect Earth's communications. They saw the message from Wanderer's Hope. They knew what kind of creature was probably attacking the colony ship. And they were amazed that a primitive planet like Earth was planning to do anything about it. On the space station orbiting Kepler 442b, the alien AI called Nexus 7 calculated the chances of the Earth mission succeeding. The number was so small it was almost 0. The creatures attacking Wanderer's Hope had destroyed ships with technology thousands of years ahead of Earth's. What could humans and dolphins possibly do against something like that? But Nexus 7 noticed something interesting in its calculations. Earth's approach was different from anything in its vast database. No other species had ever tried to solve a space crisis by bringing whales and mushrooms. Perhaps the humans did not know it was impossible. 3 days after receiving the distress signal, the Earth fleet launched. Maria Santos stood on the bridge of the lead ship, Terra's Promise, watching Earth fall away behind them. Next to her, a dolphin named Echo clicked and whistled through her translation device. "The water songs from the far dark are still calling," Echo said. "The scared ones still live." Maria nodded. Somewhere out in the darkness, people were dying while their ship turned into something horrible. Most of the galaxy had heard their cry for help and decided it was not worth the trouble. But Earth creatures had heard it too, and they were coming. The journey to reach Wanderer's Hope would take 8 days using Earth's fastest engines. For most of the galaxy, this seemed like a very long time to mount a rescue mission. Advanced civilizations could travel the same distance in hours. But Captain Maria Santos knew that speed was not always the most important thing. "Echo, what do you sense out there?" Maria asked the dolphin navigator. Echo floated in her special water tank that was connected to the ship's controls. Her sonar equipment was much better than any machine humans had built. She could detect objects in space that normal sensors missed completely. Strange ripples in the dark water. Echo clicked through her translator. Something big moves where it should not move. It tastes wrong. Maria felt a chill. Echo had never been wrong about danger. If she sensed something unnatural in space ahead of them, they needed to be ready. In the ship's communication center, the fungal networks that grew throughout the walls pulsed with information. These networks could send messages between ships without using radio waves that enemies might intercept. Dr. Lisa Park, the mission's biologist, watched the patterns of light flow through the living walls. "The other ships report the same thing," Lisa said. "All the dolphins are sensing something strange. Whatever attacked Wanderer's Hope might still be in the area." Maria activated the ship-wide communication system. "All crews, this is Captain Santos. We are approaching unknown danger. Remember your training. We are not here to fight a war. We are here to save people. But if something tries to stop us from saving people, then we will deal with it." Back on Earth, news agencies were covering the mission with excitement and worry. This was humanity's first attempt at deep space rescue. Most experts said it was impossible. The creatures that destroyed advanced alien ships would easily crush Earth's simple technology. But Dr. Sarah Chun, who had first detected the distress signal, disagreed. She appeared on news programs around the world, explaining why Earth's approach might work. "We are not trying to outfight these creatures," Sarah explained to a room full of reporters. "We are trying to outthink them. Our ships are not just human ships. They are Earth ships. Every species we brought has millions of years of experience surviving things that want to kill them." The reporters did not understand, but other people did. Messages of support poured in from around the world. Children drew pictures of dolphins in spacesuits. Scientists shared research about how different Earth species work together. Even people who had never cared about space exploration were following the mission. Unknown to most humans, the galaxy was watching too. On hundreds of worlds, alien scientists studied the Earth fleet with confusion and curiosity. The ships were so primitive that some aliens thought it was a joke. But others noticed details that worried them. Kethfer, a military strategist from the Centauri Alliance, studied the data from his command ship. He had fought the space parasites before. His own fleet had barely escaped with half their ships intact. "These humans are either very brave or very stupid," he told his aide. "Their ships have no advanced weapons, no energy shields, no quantum computers. How do they expect to fight something that eats advanced technology?" His aide, a young officer named Zix, looked at the scans more carefully. "Sir, I do not think they plan to fight it the way we would. Look at these bio-readings. Their ships are part organic. The metal parts are mixed with living tissue. Their computers are connected to biological networks." Kethfer frowned. "That is primitive. Biological components are weak. They can be corrupted or infected." "Yes, sir," Zix agreed. "But what if that is the point? What if being corrupted is not the worst thing that could happen?" Kethfer did not answer, but he kept watching the Earth fleet with growing interest. On Terra's Promise, Maria was dealing with problems that no other space captain had ever faced. The ship's AI system, which was based on studying how ant colonies made group decisions, was arguing with the fungal network about the best route to take. The dolphins wanted to follow the sound of the distress signal, but the cephalopod advisors suggested a more indirect approach. "Captain," said Dr. James Wright, "the ship's engineer, the AI, and the bio-network are not agreeing. The AI says we should take the fastest route. The fungi say we should take the safest route. The dolphins want to follow their sonar. The octopuses want to circle around and approach from behind." Maria smiled. This was exactly what she had hoped for. "What do you think, James?" "I think they are all right," he said. "The AI is thinking like a computer. The fungi are thinking like a forest. The dolphins are thinking like hunters. The octopuses are thinking like prey animals that have learned to fight back. We need all of those perspectives. So what do we do?" "We split up," James suggested. "Not far apart, but enough so we can try different approaches. If one ship runs into trouble, the others can learn from it and try something else." It was a risky plan, but Maria approved it. The 5 Earth ships spread out into a loose formation. Each ship had the same basic crew: humans, dolphins, fungi, and other Earth species working together. But each ship was slightly different, designed to test different approaches to the unknown threat ahead. The Coral Dreams focused on biological solutions. Its crew included marine biologists who had learned to work with sharks and whales. The ship itself was grown as much as built, with living systems throughout. The deep forest emphasized fungal networks and communication. Its walls were covered with different types of mushrooms and molds. Each one specialized for different kinds of information processing. The Bright Waters was the dolphin ship, with the largest water tanks and the most advanced sonar equipment. If anything was hiding in space ahead of them, that the dolphins would find it. The thinking reef focused on cephalopod intelligence and problem solving. The ship carried several different species of octopus and squid, each one smarter than most humans realized. And Terra's Promise tried to balance all approaches, serving as the command ship for the unusual fleet. As they got closer to their destination, the fungal networks began picking up strange signals. The dolphins reported hearing sounds that should not exist in the vacuum of space. The AI systems detected patterns that did not match anything in their databases. "Captain," Echo announced, her sonar equipment working overtime, "the far dock sings with wrong songs. Many metal fish swim in death patterns, but the big herd sound still calls. The scared ones still live." Maria felt her heart pound. They were getting close to Wanderer's Hope, but they were also getting close to whatever had destroyed it. In a few hours, they would find out if Earth's strange approach to space exploration could save people that the rest of the galaxy had given up for dead. The fungal networks pulsed with information from all 5 ships. The message was simple. The crew was ready. They had come too far to turn back now. Whatever was waiting for them in the darkness ahead, Earth creatures would face it together. The first thing Captain Maria Santos saw when they arrived was impossible. Ships do not grow skin. Metal does not have veins. But the wreckage floating in space ahead of them looked like it had been alive once and then died badly. "Jesus," whispered Dr. James Wright, staring at the main screen. "What happened here?" Echo the dolphin was clicking rapidly, her sonar painting a picture that human eyes could not see. "Many metal fish came here," she said through her translator. "Strong metal fish with sharp teeth and bright eyes. Now they are soft fish, dead fish, wrong fish." The debris field stretched for kilometers. Pieces of starships drifted slowly, but they had been changed somehow. Hull plating that should have been smooth metal was now covered in what looked like scales. Engine parts had grown tendrils that waved slowly in the vacuum. Most disturbing of all, some pieces still seemed to be moving on their own. "Captain," called Dr. Lisa Park from the biology station, "I am reading organic compounds in the metal debris. This is not corrosion or normal damage. Something has been converting the ships from inorganic to organic matter. Like a virus?" Maria asked. "Bigger than a virus. More like a parasite that eats technology and turns it into living tissue." On the other ships, the crews were making similar discoveries. The Coral Dreams reported that their biological sensors were going crazy. The ship's living systems were trying to hide, like plants closing up when touched. The Deep Forest found that their fungal networks had gone completely silent, as if they were afraid to communicate. But the Bright Waters made the most important discovery. Captain Santos called Captain Rebecca Liu from the Dolphin ship. Echo's cousins are detecting something big at the center of the debris field. Something that is still putting out a distress signal, but also something else. Maria felt her stomach drop. "Wanderer's Hope?" "Yes, ma'am. The colony ship is still intact. Still has life signs aboard. But there are also readings that do not make sense. The ship itself is showing signs of organic conversion. It is becoming something else." Through the fungal networks, information flowed between all 5 Earth ships instantly. The picture that emerged was terrifying. Wanderer's Hope had been caught by something that fed on advanced technology. The creature had destroyed the escort ships first, learning from each one. Then it had begun slowly converting the colony ship, keeping the crew alive to study how their biological systems worked. "It is using them as a test lab," said Dr. Wright grimly, "learning how to better combine organic and inorganic matter." "Why keep them alive?" asked Dr. Park. Echo answered before any human could. "Pack hunters study prey before eating. Learn pack ways. Learn how to hunt pack's family." The horrible truth hit Maria like a physical blow. The creature was not just feeding. It was preparing to use the colony ship as bait for other rescue missions. It wanted to learn how different species fought, how their technology worked, how their minds operated. Every ship that came to help would just make it stronger. "Ma'am," said the communications officer, "we are receiving a transmission from the colony ship. It is Captain Azenatar of the Wanderer's Hope. Put it through." The voice that came through the speakers was strained and desperate. "This is Captain Azenatar to any rescue ships. Do not approach. Repeat, do not approach. The creature has been using our ship as a growth medium. It has converted most of our hull into organic matter. It is learning from our technology and our biology. It is becoming something new. We have perhaps 12 hours before conversion. After that, we will become part of it." Maria activated the reply channel. "Captain Azenatar, this is Captain Santos of the Earth Rescue Fleet. We are here to get you out." Long silence. Then, "Earth? But you are a pre-contact species. How did you even receive our signal?" "We were listening on the right frequency," Maria said. "We are going to get you and your people out of there." "Captain Santos, you do not understand. This creature has destroyed ships with technology thousands of years ahead of yours. It learns from every attack. It gets stronger with every ship it consumes. Your primitive vessels will only feed it." Maria looked around her bridge. Her human crew was scared but determined. The Dolphin Echo was still scanning the area, looking for weak points. The fungal networks continued to pulse with information, connecting all the Earth ships in a web of shared knowledge. "Captain Azenatar, our vessels may be primitive, but they are not what you think they are. We are going to try something different." Before the alien captain could respond, alarms started ringing throughout the Earth fleet. The creature had detected them. What emerged from inside Wanderer's Hope was beyond anything in the worst. Nightmares of space travelers. It looked like a ship at first, but ships do not breathe. Ships do not have eyes. Ships do not hunt. The thing that had once been several escort vessels now formed a massive organism that moved through space like a swimming predator. Parts of it were still recognizably mechanical: engine nacelles, weapon ports, sensor arrays. But they have been integrated into something alive. The engines had become fins. The weapons had become claws. The sensors had become 100 different types of eyes. "All ships, evasive maneuvers," Maria ordered. But the creature was fast. Faster than anything that Sci should be able to move. It reached toward the nearest Earth ship, the Thinking Reef. With appendages that had once been tractor beam projectors, what happened next shocked everyone, including the creature. The Thinking Reef did not try to fight back with weapons. Instead, the ship suddenly sprouted hundreds of new growths from its hull. But these were not the organic conversions that the creature expected. These were Earth organisms that the ship had been carrying: barnacles, coral, kelp, and other sea life that were used to fighting off parasites. When the creature's appendages touched the Earth ship, they encountered something they had never felt before: organisms that fought back biologically, but did so by choice rather than compulsion. The Earth sea life did not just resist the creature's conversion attempts. They actively tried to convert the creature right back. The cosmic parasite recoiled in shock and confusion. For millions of years, it had been the only organism in space that could turn other things into extensions of itself. Now it was facing something that wanted to do the same thing to it. "All ships, implement planned symbiosis," Maria ordered. Across the Earth fleet, living systems that had been dormant suddenly activated. The ships did not become more mechanical or more advanced. They became more alive. Hull plating opened to reveal coral reefs that could survive in vacuum. Engines started working with algae that could process cosmic radiation. Weapon systems were replaced by defensive organisms that had evolved to fight off much more dangerous parasites than this cosmic creature. For the first time in its long existence, the space parasite faced something it could not easily digest. A fleet of ships that were already more biological than technological, crewed by species that had learned to work together instead of trying to dominate each other. The real battle was just beginning. The cosmic parasite had never encountered anything like the Earth ships before. When it tried to convert the thinking reef's hull into organic matter, the ship's coral gardens fought back. When it attempted to take control of deep forest's navigation systems, the fungal networks created barriers that the creature could not understand or break through. "Captain," Dr. Lisa Park reported, excitement in her voice. "The creature cannot process our biological defenses. It knows how to convert technology into living tissue, and it knows how to dominate biological systems through force. But it does not know how to deal with organisms that cooperate by choice." Captain Maria Santos watched the battle through new eyes. This was not a fight between advanced technology and primitive ships. This was a clash between two completely different ways of understanding life itself. The parasite tried to grab the bright waters with tentacles that had once been the weapon systems of destroyed ships. But the dolphins inside the Earth vessel were ready. Echo and her pod used their sonar not as a weapon, but as a communication tool. They sent complex sound patterns toward the creature, patterns that carried information about cooperation, about working together instead of consuming each other. The cosmic parasite paused, confused. In millions of years of existence, nothing had ever tried to communicate with it instead of fighting it. "All ships maintain defensive patterns," Maria ordered. "Do not attack unless directly threatened. Our goal is rescue, not destruction." The Earth fleet moved through the debris field like a school of fish, each ship supporting the others. When Coral Dreams came under attack, Thinking Reef moved to help, its cephalopod crew using their problem-solving abilities to confuse the creature's attacks. When deep forest communication networks were targeted, Terra's Promise shared its own fungal connections to keep information flowing. The cosmic parasite grew more frustrated with each failed assault. It was used to battles that followed predictable patterns: target identification, technological analysis, consumption, integration. But the Earth ships did not behave like technology. They behaved like a living ecosystem. "Captain Santos," came Captain Izenatar's voice over the communication system. "What are you doing? The creature is not attacking with full force. It seems to be stunning your ships instead of destroying them." "That is exactly what we hoped for," Maria replied. "Echo, what do you sense from the creature now?" The dolphin navigator clicked thoughtfully. "Big Hurt Thing is confused. It tastes our metal fish but finds life fish inside. It tries to eat live fish but finds cooperation taste. Cooperation taste is new thing. Big Hurt Thing does not know cooperation taste." Dr. James Wright looked up from his engineering station. "Captain, I think I understand what is happening. The creature has been alone for millions of years. It has never encountered genuine cooperation between different species. To it, all biological relationships are either predator-prey or parasite-host. It does not have a framework for understanding partnership." "Then we need to show it something new," Maria decided. "All ships, prepare for close approach to Wanderer's Hope. We are going aboard." The announcement caused chaos on the alien ship. "Captain Santos, that is suicide," Captain Izenatar protested. "The creature has converted most of our ship. The corridors are alive. The walls have eyes. Many of my crew have been partially absorbed into the ship's systems. That is why we need to get them out now," Maria replied. "Before the conversion is complete." The Earth ships moved closer to the colony vessel. Wanderer's Hope was a disturbing sight. The ship's hull pulsed like a heartbeat. What had once been airlocks now looked like mouths. Sensor arrays had become clusters of eyes that tracked the approaching rescue ships. But the cosmic parasite did not attack. Instead, It seemed to be watching, trying to understand what the Earth creatures were planning. "Boarding party. Prepare for deployment," Maria announced. She would lead the team herself, along with Dr. Park, a squad of human marines, 3 dolphins in mobile water suits, and a collection of Earth organisms specially chosen for this mission. "Ma'am," said Sergeant Mike Torres, the Marine squad leader, "how exactly do we fight our way through a living ship?" "We do not fight," Maria said. "We negotiate." The boarding pod attached to what had once been Wanderer's Hope's main airlock. As soon as the seal was complete, the Earth team could feel the ship around them. The walls were warm and soft, like being inside some massive organism. Veins of light pulsed through surfaces that had once been metal corridor walls, but something unexpected happened. Instead of trying to attack or convert the boarding party, the ship creatures seemed curious about them. Tentacles emerged from the walls, but they moved slowly, carefully, as if asking permission to examine the newcomers. "Let it touch you," Maria ordered, though her own heart was racing with fear. "Do not resist, but do not surrender either. Show it what cooperation looks like." When the creature's appendages made contact with the humans, something remarkable occurred. Instead of forced conversion, there was a tentative exchange of information. The cosmic parasite experienced something it had never felt before: beings that could share consciousness without losing themselves. The dolphins were the key. Their natural echolocation created a 3-dimensional map of the ship that showed not just its current structure, but also traces of what it had been before. Echo guided the team through corridors that shifted and changed as they walked. But she could sense where the surviving crew members were being held. "They are alive," Echo reported, "but they are connected to ShipMind. ShipMind tastes their thoughts, but does not eat their thoughts. ShipMind is learning thought taste before eating." The rescue team found the survivors in what had once been the ship's medical bay. 12 aliens of various species were connected to the ship's systems by organic tubes, but they were conscious and aware. The creature had been keeping them alive to study how different types of consciousness worked. Dr. Genitar, the ship's xenobiologist, looked up as the Earth team entered. "You came," he said weakly. "But how are you not being converted?" "Because we brought our own conversion process," Dr. Park replied. She opened her field kit and released a cloud of Earth microorganisms into the room. But these were not parasites. They were symbiotic bacteria that had been modified to offer partnership instead of demanding submission. The cosmic parasite's conversion tendrils withdrew from the colonists as the Earth organisms made contact. For the first time, the creature was experiencing what it felt like to be offered a choice instead of being forced to submit. "We are not here to destroy you," Maria said aloud, knowing the ship creature could hear her. "We are here to show you another way. You have been alone for so long that you forgot there were other options besides eating or being eaten." The ship around them shuddered, not with aggression, but with something that might have been emotion. Through the fungal networks connecting all the Earth ships, a message began to spread. The cosmic parasite was learning that existence did not have to be about domination. The real transformation was just beginning. Captain Maria Santos stood in the transformed medical bay of Wanderer's Hope, watching something that no being in the galaxy had ever witnessed before. The cosmic parasite was learning to let go. The organic tubes that had connected the surviving colonists to the ship's systems were slowly withdrawing, but not with the violent rejection that everyone expected. Instead, the creature was carefully disconnecting itself, like a doctor removing medical equipment from a patient who no longer needed it. "This is impossible," whispered Dr. Janitar, the ship's xenobiologist, as feeling returned to his limbs. "The creature has never released anyone once the connection was made. In all our records, conversion is always permanent." "Your records do not include Earth creatures," said Dr. Lisa Park gently. She was monitoring the symbiotic bacteria that had been released into the ship's atmosphere. The microorganisms we brought are showing the parasite what voluntary cooperation looks like. For the first time in its existence, it is experiencing partnership instead of domination. Through the ship's transformed walls, they could hear something that sounded almost like singing. The cosmic parasite was communicating with the fungal networks from the Earth ships, learning their language of chemical signals and shared information. Echo. The dolphin navigator translated what she could sense through her sonar equipment. Big hurt thing speaks new words now. It says, lonely time is ending. Pack swimming is possible. Growth together instead of eat alone. Maria activated her communications device to speak with the other Earth ships. All vessels, report status. Coral Dreams reporting, came Captain Chan's voice. The creature has stopped trying to convert our hull. Instead, it seems to be asking our coral gardens for advice on how to grow without consuming. Deep forest here, said Captain Rodriguez. Our fungal networks are in active communication with the parasite's consciousness. It is learning about distributed intelligence and cooperative decision-making. Thinking reef reporting all clear, added Captain Liu. The cephalopods say the creature is trying to solve the puzzle of how to exist without being alone, without consuming everything around it. But the most important report came from Dr. Wright on Terra's Promise. Captain, the creature is beginning to separate its organic components from the Wanderer's Hope. It is giving the ship back to its original crew. Over the next several hours, the rescue team watched an unprecedented transformation. The cosmic parasite began carefully removing the organic modifications it had made to the colony ship. Hull plating that had been converted to living tissue slowly hardened back into metal. Corridors that had pulsed like arteries returned to their original geometric shapes. Sensor arrays that had become eyes shifted back to their technological functions. But this was not destruction or rejection. It was art. The creature was learning to create instead of consume, to build instead of absorb. Captain Santos, said Dr. Janitar, as he regained full movement, what the creature is doing should be impossible. It has spent millions of years evolving to convert matter from one form to another. How is it learning to reverse the process? Maria smiled and pointed to Echo, who was swimming in her portable tank while maintaining sonar contact with the ship around them. Because we showed it something it had never seen before. Cooperation without dominance. Intelligence without consumption. Growth without destruction. As Wanderer's Hope returned to normal operation, the cosmic parasite began to take a new form. Instead of a massive predator made from the remains of destroyed ships, it became something that had never existed before, a spaceborne organism that could help. Instead of harm. Parts of the creature separated and moved toward the Earth ships, but not to attack. The parasite was offering small pieces of itself as gifts, biological components that can help the rescue fleet with their long journey home. It wants to come with us, Echo reported. Big Hurt Thing wants to learn more about pack swimming. Wants to meet other Earthfish. The decision was not difficult for Maria. Earth had always been a planet where new species could find a home, where different forms of life learn to work together instead of fighting. Tell it yes, she said. The journey back to Earth took longer than the trip out, but it was a different kind of journey entirely. The cosmic parasite traveled alongside the Earth fleet, learning from the dolphins about echolocation, from the fungi about information networks, from the humans about tool-making and problem-solving. By the time they reached Earth's solar system, the creature had transformed again. It was no longer a parasite at all, but something new. A spacefaring organism that could help ships travel faster and safer through the vacuum between stars. Word of the successful rescue mission spread throughout the galaxy faster than the Earth ships could travel. Advanced civilizations that had dismissed the primitive human fleet began asking questions. How had a barely spacefaring species succeeded where their sophisticated technology had failed? The answer came in Dr. Genitar's official report to the Galactic Council. After spending weeks observing the Earth creatures and their methods, he wrote, "The request from Wanderers. Hope had no intended recipient because we assumed only advanced civilizations could respond to advanced threats. We never considered that the solution might require not technological advancement, but a fundamentally different approach to existence itself. Earth creatures succeeded because they never learned that cooperation is impossible between different species. They never learned that some things cannot be reasoned with. They never learned that survival requires consumption of others. The cosmic parasite was not evil or malicious. It was simply alone, and had been alone for so long that it forgot there were other ways to exist. When faced with beings who offered partnership instead of demanding submission, it chose to learn instead of consume. I recommend that the Galactic Council formally recognize Earth as a rescue specialist civilization. When conventional solutions fail, when advanced technology cannot solve a problem, Earth creatures should be contacted. Their primitive equipment and simple approaches often work precisely because they are not limited by our assumptions about what is possible. 6 months later, new ships began launching from Earth orbit. They were unlike any vessels ever built in the galaxy. The hulls were grown as much as manufactured, incorporating living systems that could adapt to unknown challenges. The crews included humans, dolphins, various Earth organisms, and now, small fragments of the reformed cosmic parasite that helped with navigation and communication across vast distances. These ships carried a simple message to the galaxy. No one is beyond saving. Nothing is impossible if you are willing to try a different approach. And the universe is big enough for everyone to find a way to belong. Captain Maria Santos, now promoted to Admiral of the Earth Rescue Fleet, stood on the bridge of the newest ship, Terra's Promise 2, next to her. Echo clicked with pleasure as her sonar detected another distress signal from deep space. "Admiral," Echo said through her translator, "Farsong calls for help." Different song than before. New kind of scared ones need pack swimming. Maria smiled and gave the order that had become Earth's signature response to the impossible. "All ships, prepare for rescue operations. No one gets left behind." The request had no recipient, but Earth creatures had heard it, and they were already on their way.